Imagine hitting a simple pitching wedge, like just a standard shot you could execute in your sleep on a driving range, right?
Right. Totally automatic.
Yeah. But now, imagine hitting that exact same wedge with a sudden, 40-degree wind shift violently blowing right in your face.
Oh, man.
And there's a $25 million total purse on the line, with $4.5 million going to the winner. Plus, there is a literal lake completely surrounding your target. Welcome to Sunday at TPC Sawgrass.
It really is the ultimate collision of physics, architecture, and just sheer psychological endurance.
Exactly.
Because you aren't just trying to beat the other guys on the leaderboard. You are battling an environment that's meticulously designed to break your cognitive processing before you even, swing the club.
Which is exactly why we are jumping into this deep dive today. We are previewing the highly anticipated final round of the 2026 Players' Championship. And if you follow the game, you know this tournament is so demanding, it's basically universally recognized as the fifth major of golf.
Unofficial, maybe, but absolutely earned.
Right. And to figure out what's about to unfold, we've pulled together a massive stack of sources. We're synthesizing live leaderboards, historical course data, granular player stats, and some incredibly specific meteorological forecasts.
Which are going to be huge today.
Oh, massive. And you might be wondering, why should you care about this if you aren't a pro golfer? Well, because today's deep dive is really a masterclass in psychology, strategy, and just performing under immense pressure.
Yep.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, let's do it. Because the stakes right now are producing just a wonderfully volatile environment. Coming out of Saturday's moving day, the leaderboard is this incredibly tense mix of player profiles.
It's so packed.
It really is. Sitting at the absolute top, you have the generational talent, Ludvig Åberg, at 13 under par. He's holding a 3-shot lead over Michael Thorbjornsen, who's sitting at 10 under.
But right behind them, that is a terrifying group of chasers.
Oh, absolutely.
You've got Cameron Young lurking there at 9 under, and then a highly experienced, just packed group at 8 under that includes major champions like Justin Thomas and Xander Schauffele right there.
Yeah, and a 3-shot lead. Well, it feels comfortable on paper. But reading through the historical data of TPC Sawgrass, a 3-shot advantage can literally evaporate in a span of 10 minutes.
It's a powder keg. And to understand why that leaderboard is basically waiting to go off, we have to look at the battlefield itself. We have to talk about Pete Dye's architectural philosophy.
The mastermind.
Right. He built the stadium course in 1980 on what was essentially just a flat Florida swamp.
Yeah.
But the way he manipulated that swamp entirely changed the psychology of professional golf.
Because he weaponized the landscape. Dye famously laid out the routing of this course so that no 2 consecutive holes run in the exact same direction.
Wait, really? Not a single consecutive pair?
Not one. He designed it specifically to constantly mess with the players' wind calibrations.
See, I was looking at the overhead maps of the course routing, and I have a theory on why this is so devastating.
Let's hear it.
Well, if I'm playing 3 holes in a row heading north, my brain subconsciously maps the crosswind, right? I stop actively thinking about it. My body just naturally adjusts.
Exactly. You find a rhythm.
Right. But by constantly spinning the compass on every single tee box, Dye is actively preventing the golfer from subconsciously mapping the environment. You have to consciously recalculate the wind direction, the humidity, and the angle every single time you step up to hit.
And that constant recalibration, it causes profound cognitive fatigue. Professional golfers rely so heavily on rhythm and automation, but Pete Dye just refuses to let them automate anything.
He scrambles the radar from hole 1.
He really does. And once that mental fatigue sets in, the physical traps he laid out become, exponentially more dangerous. For instance, looking at the course data, this year they grew the overseeded rye rough up to 4 inches.
Which is up from 3.5 inches last year, right?
Exactly.
Now, a half inch of grass doesn't sound like a big deal to a casual observer, but functionally, how does that actually impact the physics of a golf swing?
Well, overseeded ryegrass is incredibly thick and sticky, so when a ball settles down into 4 inches of it, the grass actually grabs the club head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, specifically, it wraps right around the hosel, that's the part of the club where the shaft meets the head, and it violently twists the club face shut right before you make contact with the ball.
So you just lose all control.
Completely. The player loses all control over the spin and the trajectory. The ball usually just shoots out low and to the left. It entirely eliminates your ability to control approach shots into these greens.
It's like a haunted house for professional golfers, designed just to make them sweat.
That is the perfect analogy.
I love this quote from Ben Crenshaw in our sources. He said, "It's Star Wars golf designed by Darth Vader."
It's so accurate.
Yeah. But that brings up a fascinating contradiction in the sources. Analysts are constantly referring to TPC Sawgrass as the ultimate test of target golf. But looking at the layout, target golf here feels totally counterintuitive.
How so?
Well, the fairways are frequently angled directly toward the water hazards. As a player, my instinct is to bail out to the safe side, as far away from the lake as possible.
Yeah.
Why does playing it safe completely ruin a scorecard on this course? Does target golf actually reward aggression, or is it strictly about playing defense?
What's fascinating here is that Pete Dye uses visual deception to force bad angles.
Okay, what does that mean in practice?
If you let the water scare you and you bail out to the safe side of the fairway, you are heavily penalized. Dye designed the greens to run diagonally away from the safe zones, and he often guards them with deep bunkers or overhanging trees on that specific safe side.
Oh, I see.
So if you play it safe off the tee, you end up with a terrible, obstructed, shallow angle into the green.
So to get a good angle, you literally have to bravely hit your drive toward the hazard.
Precisely. You have to flirt with the water to earn a straight, unobstructed approach shot. And you desperately need that clear approach because these greens are remarkably small. They average about 5,500 square feet.
That's tiny for a Pro Tour event.
It's tiny, and they are kept lightning fast. Right now, they're running at a 13 or 14 on the stimp meter.
Let's translate that for a listener really quick. A 14 on the stimp meter essentially means putting on a marble floor.
Pretty much, yeah.
If you breathe on the golf ball, gravity takes over, and it just rolls 10 feet past the hole.
Yeah.
You have to keep the ball below the hole at all costs, which requires terrifying precision with your irons.
Right, and that precision is only possible if you earn the correct angle from the fairway. The course demands you to calculate the physics, trust the math, and swing freely toward danger.
It's a masterclass in emotional regulation.
Absolutely.
And this creates a brilliant, kind of cruel narrative through line for the round. Because Pete Dye spends the first 15 holes slowly draining your cognitive battery, scrambling your wind radar, and exhausting your decision-making.
And then comes the gauntlet.
Exactly. Yeah. Right when your nervous system is completely frayed, he forces you to execute the three most mathematically precise shots of the entire tournament. Holes 16, 17, and 18.
The ultimate gauntlet.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's break down hole 16. It's a par 5, right?
Yeah, a par 5 dogleg left. And strategically, this is the last real scoring opportunity. It's your final chance to make an eagle or an easy birdie before the true survival test begins.
But because it's Pete Dye, even the easy chance is a trap.
Oh, of course.
You have to hit your drive tight down the left side to even have a view of the green. But if you actually want to go for the green in 2 shots and chase that eagle, your approach shot has to carry all the way over a massive pond on the right.
It's the ultimate risk-reward, placed exactly at the moment when players are getting desperate to catch the leaders. If you pull the shot slightly, you lose the angle. If you push it slightly,
In the water.
you're in the water. It demands immense accuracy off the tee and then total commitment on the second shot.
Which perfectly sets the stage for the psychological anomaly of the 17th hole, the island green.
Oh, man. The 17th.
Just reading the historical data on this hole is staggering. I mean, it is only a 137-yard par 3.
Barely a pitch and putt for these guys.
Right. For these professionals, that is a pitching wedge. Yet, over 100,000 golf balls go into the water surrounding this green every single year.
It's absurd.
And look at Brooks Koepka. The stats show he has lost 17 strokes in 20 holes played here. He's hit 10 balls into the water.
That is just wild for a 5-time major champion.
Exactly. If it breaks someone of that caliber, there is something deeper going on. I'm looking at the footage, and purely from a distance standpoint, it's a short shot. Why does an elite player's fine motor control completely collapse here?
It breaks them because of a masterful optical illusion.
Really? How so?
When you stand on the 17th tee box, there is no visual background directly behind the green.
Huh.
There are no trees immediately behind it, no grandstands catching the eye, just empty air and the distant tree line way, way across the lake. Because the brain lacks a nearby visual anchor behind the target, it cannot accurately gauge depth.
Oh, so your spatial awareness is completely stripped away.
Exactly. Your depth perception is ruined, the green looks like it's just floating in a void, and when the brain can't confirm the depth, doubt creeps into the nervous system. Adrenaline spikes.
And when adrenaline spikes, fine motor skills are the first things to go.
Exactly. The exact mechanics required to control the distance of a delicate wedge shot just degrade immediately.
And Sunday introduces an entirely new layer of difficulty because of the pin placement.
Oh, the Sunday pin is legendary.
Right. They always put the flag on the back right tier of the green. And that specific section slopes aggressively toward the water. So aiming at the flag seems like a mathematical death sentence.
It really is. If you aim at the Sunday flag and miss your landing spot by just 36 inches, the ball is in the lake. The only strategy that consistently works is to play the architecture of the green itself.
So where you aim?
You have to aim center left, far away from the pin.
It's exactly like playing a bank shot in billiards. You aren't aiming for the pocket. You're calculating the angle of the bumper to let gravity do the work for you.
That's exactly it. You hit the center left plateau and trust the subtle slope of the green to catch your ball and slowly feed it down toward that back right hole location.
But even when you calculate the physics perfectly, TPC Sawgrass introduces sheer, unpredictable absurdity. We have to recount the Brad Fable story from 1998 to lighten the tension here because it perfectly encapsulates this hole.
Oh, I love this story.
So Brad steps up to the 17th, executes the math flawlessly. He hits a beautiful safe shot that lands squarely on the center of the island green. He breathes a sigh of relief.
Job done. Right.
Right. And then a seagull swoops down out of the sky, lands on the putting surface, picks up his golf ball in its beak, flies around the green with it, and drops it straight into the lake.
It remains one of the most surreal pieces of footage in golf broadcast history.
It's so funny. Luckily, he got a free drop under Rule 18-1 for an outside agency, but it proves the point. Nothing is safe on 17 until the ball is literally resting at the bottom of the cup.
And if you somehow survive that chaos, your reward is the tee box of the 18th hole.
The ultimate test of commitment.
Exactly. It's a brutally difficult par 4 dogleg left, with water running the entire length of the hole down the left side.
The visual pull of the water must be overwhelming. The urge to just steer the ball safely to the right must be deafening.
It is, but this hole doesn't demand heroics. It demands commitment to a line down the right center. Steering implies hesitation. And when a player tries to steer their drive, it destroys the kinetic chain of the golf swing.
What biomechanically happens there?
When an elite player wants to hit a committed drive, their hips rotate quickly to clear space for the arms. But when doubt creeps in and they try to steer the ball away from the water, their brain subconsciously tells their body to slow down.
The hip rotation decelerates.
Yep. And when the hips stop moving, the hands flip forward to compensate, which aggressively alters the club face angle. Or they block the shot entirely, leaving the club face wide open.
In either scenario, you're missing the target wildly.
Exactly. Trying to play it safe by steering away from the water almost guarantees you'll blast the ball into the dense trees on the right side.
Wow. So all of this strategy relies on static conditions, right? You map the wind, pick your club, commit to the physics. But Sunday is bringing a massive variable.
The ultimate wild card.
Yeah. The meteorological data shows a severe cold front moving into Ponte Vedra Beach.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for the actual golf shots?
Well, the forecast is incredibly specific. We're looking at highs in the 80s, dense humidity around 80 to 83%, and a 30 to 50% chance of scattered thunderstorms right after 4 p.m.
And if we look at the tee times, Onneberg and Thorbjornsen tee off at 1:40 p.m.
Right.
Which means they're going to be hitting the crucial closing stretch right around 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Exactly when the leaders hit the gauntlet. What physically happens to the environment when that front arrives?
Before the cold front, the wind is blowing steadily out of the southeast at 10 to 16 miles per hour, with gusts up to 22.
A strong breeze, but manageable.
But when that cold front passes, the atmospheric pressure violently changes. The wind is going to rapidly shift and start blowing heavily out of the north or north-northwest.
So it does a complete U-turn.
Completely. And here is the aha moment. Let's tie that wind shift back to hole 17. When the wind is out of the southeast, it hits the 17th hole as a crosswind. Tricky, but they can handle it.
Right, it's just a standard pitching wedge.
But when that wind shifts to the north-northwest, the 17th hole suddenly plays directly into a heavy headwind.
Oh, wow.
And the data shows that when that specific wind shift happens, the scoring average on 17 jumps from 3.21 to 3.41.
There's a massive jump for the best players on Earth.
And water balls jump from 14% up to 18%.
Why is that? What is happening to the golf ball in the air?
It's the parachute effect. A pitching wedge launches high with massive backspin. If you hit that into a 20-mile-per-hour headwind, the wind catches the spin like a parachute. It stalls the forward momentum and drops it straight down into the lake.
So the comfortable wedge becomes mathematically impossible.
Exactly. It changes a comfortable wedge into a terrifying flighted mid-iron. They have to pull a 7 or 8 iron, deloft the club face, and hit this unnatural low punch shot under the wind.
With millions of dollars on the line. So synthesizing all of this for you listening, Ludwig Oberg looks unflappable right now. He's hit 3 eagles this week. He's leading the field off the tee. But Sawgrass is designed to ensure no lead is safe until the final putt drops.
Absolutely. And for the listener, the real takeaway here is about composure.
Right.
Watching this final round is watching how elite performers recalibrate their strategy when external variables, like a sudden cold front, blow their original plans apart. It's about who manages their reaction to the chaos best.
Maintaining clarity when the environment demands panic.
Well said. And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final mind-bending piece of history to mull over.
Oh, this is a great story.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time dissecting the 17th hole. It's the most iconic hole in golf. It has defined careers and championships. But the famous island green wasn't even in Pete Dye's original plan.
Not at all. It was just a giant crater left over from excavating sand to build the spectator mounds for the rest of the course. He had no idea what to do with this massive hole in the ground. It was actually his wife, Alice Dye, who suggested filling it with water and putting a green in the middle.
An accidental masterpiece.
Exactly. So I want you to ponder this as you watch the final round. If they hadn't run out of sand back in 1980, would the Players' Championship have ever become the 5th major of golf? It really makes you wonder. Enjoy the final round, everyone. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.